Once again. Hey y'all, welcome. Welcome to Freedom Fridays. I am so happy you're here. You see, I got on my warm sweater today, and actually, I'm a little overheated trying to get all set up. So I'm gonna take this sweater off a little bit. It wasn't meant to come off, but that's okay. Um, there we go. Now we're live. Welcome to another Freedom Fridays. Hi there, I am Rashidat. I am your dream strategist and I'm your lifestyle coach. I am all about helping Black women, professional and entrepreneur women, especially between ages of 30 and 45 plus, who are ambitious, hardworking, the responsible one, the strong one. That's this vibe around here. So if that's you, welcome. And if that's not you, but you have connected with some of my other content, welcome to you as well. This live stream is all about winding down for the weekend so that you can step into your weekend actually ready to participate in resting rather than your mind continuing to run and think about all the things that you've been working on over the week. This is the time where you fully disconnect everything that's been going on in your mind and actually lean into the rest that you deserve. And I love doing this as a community because for those of us who are attracted to the things that I talk about, what I know about us is we are the last ones to make time for rest. But this is a practice about helping um, us make it the first thing that we do, that we start to come out of this workaholic, hustle hard mindset and realize that us resting well, us um taking a step back, getting clear, like getting out of the weeds and seeing everything so much clearer is what helps us move forward, what helps us actually accomplish the things that we want. Because working hard, let me tell you, work plus work does not equal freedom. That's not what's going to help us move forward. So, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Today's topic, okay, um, is, which is funny because I'm behind today. The topic for today, and let me get it right. I want to make sure I say it right because it's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. Um, because I am officially behind today. So I love this. Where did I put it? I hate when I can't find what I'm looking for. Another thing that makes me feel behind is when I'm looking for something and I can't find it. Mm, mm, mm. It's coming. Here it is. Where is it at? It was here. Okay. Don't make big decisions when you feel behind, and here's why. This is a really important topic because I have seen even in myself when I feel behind, I'm like, oh, I'm actually living this right now, which is another reason why it's a really good topic for today. Oh, when I'm feeling behind or when I'm like, in retrospect, I should have done something different. It changes the way I make decisions, and I want to share my own experience and give a little bit of a life update of what that has been like for me. Um, in hopes that you can relate to that and recognize some of the things that I've recognized in the process and hope that it helps save you some of the things that I wish that I would have saved myself from. So, yes. Hey, Leslie, welcome. How are you? I'm so glad that you made it today. I was running just a little late on getting started today. So, I'm hoping that the other ladies will still make it on. But yes, I'm so glad that you're here. As we do every single week, we're going to start by celebrating our week. So make sure you take a second and um and make sure you take a second and say hello in the chat and celebrate your wins. Leslie said, "Sister, I'm with my nephew and he is sick. Oh, poor baby boy. Feel better, son. So I'm on headphones listening. Um, but I'm not out of my system. No problem. Absolutely no problem, girl. You know I'm gonna keep talking any old way. So yes, this topic is this week. I wanted to talk about how to not make decisions when you're feeling behind and why I suggest that. But then, like I said, let's always start with celebrating our wins. That is so important. And it's such an important practice to remind us that we are making progress, especially in situations where we feel behind. And so we do this every single week. So if you're watching on the replay, um, go ahead and put in the comments. What are you celebrating this week? What did you accomplish? And if you're having a hard time, I want you to think of even okay, that's new. I've never had to do that before. Hopefully, I'm back. Y'all let me know. There we go. I can see it now. Hey, y'all. I'm sorry about that. You know, I'm at the work club, so I've never had it keep me off here because the internet here is great. Hopefully, that won't happen again. That is completely new. But what was I saying before I got cut off? I was talking about celebrating our wins, and I was talking about Jaye. So, um, yes, let me just say that. Yeah, so this month I've been promoting Jaye with Rashidat, and I was talking about how last year was a whole adventure for me. I had so many amazing ups, but I also had some really low lows. Last year was a hard financial year for me. I did a lot of pivoting in my business and it was good. And it really lends into today's topic about how to not make big decisions when you feel behind and why. So I'm gonna get a little bit more into that later. But the celebration, the win from all of this is like last year was what it was, and yet um, I'm so excited for all of the pivots and the changes that it made me do. And I'm so excited to say I have my first member in Jaya with Rashidat, and I am excited to say welcome, Megan, to Jaya with Rashidat. I'm so excited to have you inside the course and community. So excited for the amazing life that we're going to build together. And yeah, that's a huge one for me. Megan, I hope you don't mind me sharing. Um, I'm grateful. I'm celebrating it. Listen, I'm gonna celebrate every single one. Because everyone is a step towards that 5,000 Black women that I um get to help shift from this burnout, workaholic, hard knock life into a soft life, into a life where we get to be appreciated, where we get to fully enjoy life. So I'm celebrating that. That's huge. It's amazing. We got on our first call and I did a dance. We did a dance together and it was absolutely amazing. I loved it. I loved every bit of it. So, um, yes, that was one of my wins. And I'm just switching back of screens to make sure everything, okay, good. Making sure that everything is going. Okay, cool. Hopefully everything is playing for you guys. If you're having any technical difficulties, please let me know. I hope that we've got it all figured back out. So there's that. Okay. Mm, that was my first one for this week. My second one for this week, um, my girl, my lovely truck. Y'all remember how I drove my red pickup truck? She is a 99 um Ford Ranger. She's an old girl. She's 27 years old, okay? For a car, that is old. That's like donkey years. It's an old truck. But she has done me so well. She got us all the way to California and back. And she had some noises going on with her, and I was like, oh girl, I hope you don't have nothing else that's broke down because I have put a lot of money in her. I put $3,000 in her in the last 6 months, and she's not even worth that anymore. And so I was like debating, what do I do? Should I get a new car? Should I wait? How much time do I have? Like all of these things. So I took her to the mechanic, and listen, let me tell you, every other time I've taken my truck to the mechanic, that thing has been at least a $700 repair. And when he sent me a bill for $23.09, I said, let me hurry up and pay this man before he changed his mind. I was like, listen, I don't want him to remember something else that he forgot to put on there. Let me hurry up and get this man this thing so he can put my keys out there. So I was very grateful. So what it ended up coming down to, what I thought was making a noise is not making a noise. But my old girl is on her way out. It's about time that I very intentionally start looking for a new car. But I'm celebrating that she's listen, she's done me so well. You know how when you put good vibes out and energy to the universe, you literally feel, and this is an inanimate object. Like this car doesn't move without me. And yet I feel like her spirit is like, no, boo, I got you. She's taking such good care of me. So I've just been putting so much love and gratefulness into her because I, for one, I'm still gonna be using her for at least another 2 months. Um, and I'm talking about my truck, y'all. So don't call me crazy. Yes, I call she's a her. Her name is Ranger. And I think of her like Cowboy Carter with a cowboy hat on. That's how I think of her, okay? So, yes, she has taken such good care of me, and I'm really grateful. I'm grateful that I've been able to ride with her. So, yes, that's my second one of the week, and I'm just refreshing my screen for a second. Uh, that shouldn't change anything. Okay. So that's my second one for this week. What's my third one for this week? Listen, this sweater, listen, last week we in Atlanta had we had, what was it? Uh okay. Oh good. Okay, Megan said, yay, you're back. Okay. No, I don't mind you sharing. Okay, good. I'm glad you don't mind me sharing. Oh, and I'm glad you have some wins. Okay, so the chat wasn't coming through. So I'm glad that I refreshed so now I can see the chat coming in. Which is awesome. Let me pause and share your wins because listen, you got some good ones. Megan said wins. Number one, 77. What? Megan, 77 continuous days of meditating. That is such an amazing, restful routine. Talk about doing amazing. You've been on fire doing steps that's building that life that you fully enjoy, girl. Yes, I mean, absolutely fire. I'm into it. And then number 2 says, "Sign up for Jaya with Rashidat." Yay! I'm glad we both are celebrating that as a win this week. I'm so excited and so excited for us to get started with that. It's going to be such an amazing time together. And then listen, win number 3 is I have this Sunday off. I love it because I know when you're like, "I'm not a huge fan of working on weekends." So I'm excited for you for that. That is another win. Come on. So many good wins. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes. I love it. Megan also says, celebrating your little truck with you. Yes. Listen, and I love, oh, you picked a cute little red pickup truck. That is her. I feel like to commemorate her, like once I don't have her anymore, I might need to get like a little red pin and I could put it on my denim jacket. One of the things that I've been collecting as I travel, I either collect patches, like, that have flags of all the different countries that I've been to, or I try to collect, like, a one of those pins that have a backing on it, so I might have to get a backing. I have a hot air balloon from my experience in Mexico City. I have one for my jacket. I feel like the red pickup truck would be a cute one to honor her on a Ranger once she moves on. So, yes, I'm celebrating that. Thank you for celebrating that with me, and thank you for sharing the things that you've been celebrating too. I love that. Every single one of those are amazing. So good. Okay. Alright, what's my 3rd thing that I'm celebrating? Let me see. Oh, you know what I'm celebrating? Today is my official 1st paycheck. And my benefits, they've already started sending me my benefits card for my doctor and my dentist, and y'all, I mean, I've had insurance as a entrepreneur, but I haven't had insurance for the last year. I'm very excited to have insurance. I'm very excited to be going to the doctor and not having to pay out of pocket. I'm very excited for this next season. And oh, I also went ahead and got my gym membership set up too. So listen, I'm excited. Girl, I'm excited for all the things. I'm celebrating so many new things. Listen, remember this February is where the Lunar New Year take turn starts. And I'm like, I'm feeling that shift this year more than I think I've ever felt before. This new beginnings, this year of the horse, this year of momentum. And I feel it so much in I have so many incremental upgrades happening in so many different parts of life. I am so glad there's absolutely nothing that's trying to do a quantum leap because I couldn't keep all the balls up if this one was a quantum leap and this one and all the rest were doing this, it would throw everything out of whack. So yes, I'm celebrating every bit of that. I love that. Megan said, "You got in a hot air balloon." That's something I don't need to experience. Megan, the hardest part, let me tell you, the hardest part is getting yourself in the basket. Because the basket is like, it's not, it's way higher than this, but it's like this high off the ground, and you literally have to like catapult yourself over the top of it. It is not easy to get into, but going up in the balloon, it's actually not as scary as you think because like the difference from like the air balloon or the hot air balloon or like bungee jumping or a zip line, all of those other things, they have like a drop. Whereas a hot air balloon is coasting. It's coasting the whole time. It's coasting up, it's coasting down. Like you never feel that like drop feeling, and that's the part that freaks me out. Now if you're scared of heights, I I don't know that that would change much for you, but I don't know, it's just this really surreal, amazing feeling that I feel like everybody should do a hot air balloon at least once, and I'm gonna say go to Mexico because it was cheap. It was really cheap. I did a hot air balloon for like $160, and that was the van ride out there and back, like transportation, food, going to other little things. It was a really nice experience. So yes. Oh yes, listen, Megan said, come on, first paycheck and benefit. Yes, auntie. You know what I'm excited about. I love it. Thank you for celebrating that. So many see, and I think it's so important, like, especially again, I'll keep coming back to this because I think it's important to talk about it more. As an entrepreneur, like, and a professional and an entrepreneur, I'm an and or. I'm not one or the, I'm a both and, not an and or. I'm a professional and an entrepreneur. You know, it's easy to be like, oh, well, you should just do one or the other. And I have been in that position, but it's also really nice. Yeah, I got a lot of stuff that I keep up with right now, and as things keep start going, I'm going to get help. But the nervous system regulation that I get from these foundation things being in place is worth it. It is absolutely worth it. So listen, I'm like, listen, by the end of this year, I'm trying to be lean and mean because I'm gonna be on that treadmill. I'm gonna have that HRT treatment going on, and I'm gonna be back to my milk my prepared meals so I don't have to cook anymore because I have not been cooking the healthy stuff. I've been eating junk food because it's easy. Like, listen, I'm gonna be lean and mean without any what's the word I was thinking of? Not inflation, inflammation. That's what I was trying to say. And no inflammation in my body by the end of this year. Come on, boo. Come on. Listen, Megan said I updated my insurance with my job too and need a primary care doctor. Yes. Yes, girl, get you one. I'm so lucky. This is one of the things that I've been also grateful about. Because you know, I was applying for this job in Asheville, North Carolina. I've never been to Asheville. It was going to be starting new. I didn't have any community. I didn't know anybody there, no church, no nothing. But being able to stay here in Atlanta, even if it is on the other side of town, I already have a primary care doctor, I already have a dentist. Like I have so many other of the other resources and things already in place that I can get planted here and I love Atlanta as a city. Not to mention it's a great airport to fly out of. If I'm going to Nigeria, like I was talking to my dad and he was hinting at how his birthday is in May and he wants to do something for his birthday. I was like, oh, that's great. I'm already in Atlanta now. In Charlotte, that would have made it harder. So yes, I'm celebrating Atlanta as well. Listen, I'm celebrating a lot of things. And I'm also celebrating that my water bottle is telling me, boo, drink some water. So this is happy hour. If you haven't had your drink today, take this, my cups reminder, take a sip of your drink. And whether it's water, whether it's your wine, whether it's something a little stronger, take a sip. Cheers to you, okay? Mm, no water is bomb too. It's nice, good ice water. Oh my, that was good. Can I tell y'all what good old perimenopause did to me? Before I realized I was like, before I've gotten to this stage of perimenopause, I preferred room temperature water and sometimes even hot water. Okay. Now, if you put a bottle of room temperature water in front of me, I might have to hot that daggone bottle of water up. I cannot get it down to save my life. My body does not like it. I cannot take warm water anymore. Megan said, cheers. Come on, girl. Clink, 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 cheers. I can't Perry took that away from me. I can't do warm water anymore. Which is okay, because most places like to give you cold water, but now, y'all, if it's not ice water, I don't want it. And so that's why that water was so good because it is nice and icy. There's probably more ice in that cup than there was water, and it was delicious. The joys of perimenopause. All right, so I shared a few of my wins from this week. Megan shared a few of her wins this week. If you have any wins that you would love to share, go ahead and drop them in the chat. Also, if you're catching us on the replay, we still want to celebrate you. So take a second and go to the comments and put your win so that I can come on and the rest of us will come on and celebrate you as well because you deserve to be celebrated. And 9 times out of 10, you probably haven't paused to do that enough. And we want to celebrate you too. We want you to celebrate you, and we want to celebrate you. So make space for us to do that. Allow yourself to receive that by participating. Okay. Yes. Megan said, I only drink room temperature water, even when it's hot out. Right. That's how I used to be until perimenopause said, no, boo, we ain't doing that no more. You gonna have to drink this cold water because we ain't about that life. I was like, oh, it's like that. And she was like, yeah, it's like that. And I was like, oh, okay. So I'm interested to see once I start the hormone replacement therapy and they start balancing out my hormones, are things like that going to change as well. I'm also excited to be sharing this as I go. Um, because it's one of those things like, at the end you're like, oh, you can't even remember how it was as a part of it because you're just so glad that it's not like that anymore. So I'm glad that I'll be able to go back and see, wow, like my body was going through all the things and it really has been going through all the things. Um, and I'm excited for now what benefits I can start making some shifts past that. So yes. Okay. So we celebrated our wins from the week. Next is claiming a sticker. Okay. So if you are new here, the way you claim a sticker is I want you to ask yourself, did I prioritize time for rest and fun at all this week? Whether it was 30 seconds, 30 minutes, 30 hours, did I prioritize time for rest and fun? Because again, as professionals and entrepreneurs, as the strong one, as the nurturer, as the ruler, as the maverick, the alchemist, the one who's used to like doing all the work and getting things done. Um, One of the last things we do is make time for rest. And this whole live stream is about shifting that and creating a new dynamic with this community and with accountability to help us shift that dynamic. That we start with adding more rest and fun in, but then using that as a jumpstart to a lifestyle where rest is a priority rather than something that we put on the back burner. So if you've taken some time this week to do any rest and fun, I want you to pat yourself on the back for it because that's a dopamine hit. And you're like, ooh, I like that dopamine hit. Let me do that again. And I want to see that these small incremental changes in rest snowball from being small wins of rest into a lifestyle of rest. So if you've done that, I want you to go ahead and put hashtag sticker in the chat and claim your sticker. Okay. It's hashtag STICKA. I'm gonna put it up on the screen for you. Let me see. Where's that? I'm so surprised that things are moving slow for me today, but you know what? It's okay. I'm not gonna let it hold me back. Okay, let me close this window. Okay, you gonna show? There it is. I think. Show. So yes, go ahead. Oop, listen, there we go. Hashtag stick it in the chat. It is, I'm like, I must need to restart my computer. Come on, Megan said, I'm claiming my sticker. Come on, boo. I know that's right. I must need to restart my computer because listen, it's acting like it's not trying to go with the vibe today. Well, not about that life. Okay, so let me see. Mm, Okay, here we go. All right, so while I'm getting that up, are y'all Super Bowl people? Is it this weekend? I think it's next weekend, right? Is it next weekend? Wow, it did its last second time. Now, I have been streaming from I've been streaming from I'm at the co-working spot. I'm just in a different spot because somebody was in the spot that the other two spots that I've tried. I've never seen it do this before. So that's very interesting. Thank you for being patient. Hopefully it'll stop kicking me out. Yes, that's weird. Okay. So what was I saying? Um, so we celebrated our wins from the week. We gave out some stickers. Oh, that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to give out stickers. So what I'm gonna do is, Megan, I'm gonna, since I don't know what's going on and it's not letting me open different windows, I am going to make sure that I get you your sticker later. Now, listen, it looks like it's breaking up again. I don't know what the heck is going on. Let me do this. Let's see if that fixes it. Well, one disconnects. I have to make sure it reconnects again. Okay, there we go. Okay. Is the weather bad in Atlanta this weekend? Maybe that's what the Wi-Fi is weird. So it is actually supposed to be bad this weekend. They're expecting a storm to come in tonight, and I had to bring my work laptop home because um, there's a chance that either I might be delayed for work or not have to go in or have to work from home. Hey Michelle, so glad that you got a chance to join us today. Listen, I've been having technical difficulties today, so I've been going in and out, but be patient with me. If I fall off, I come right back. Listen, stronger than before, right? No, but yes, so yeah, Megan, maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's the weather, but I'm like, it's not even bad outside yet. And usually, so the way that where I'm sitting in the co-working spot, I'm right under the router, like one of the things. So it's just weird. It is so weird. I've never seen it happen like this. But yes, thank you for being patient. That being said, Michelle, Megan and I have already shared our wins from the week, but if you have wins that you would love to share, we still want to celebrate you, sis. So make sure if you want to share, put them in the chat. We're still ready and willing for all the celebrations, okay? We also claimed some stickers. I'm not gonna claim them on I'm not going to add them to the spreadsheet because it seemed like every time I try to open a new window, the computer and the Wi-Fi start acting crazy. So I'm like, okay. I'm just not gonna do that. I'm just gonna do that separately today. I'll do that in a separate window. So you'll see them in the spreadsheet as we keep going, but no matter what, please know if you're claiming a sticker, you put hashtag sticker in the chat. Stick your chest out and say, I got my sticker. I got my sticker. Because you did. You did, okay? But she'll say, yay, with all your wins, Meg, right? Listen, 77 days. Get it. Get it. I love it. Love it. And like I said, I'm so excited to have her inside of with Rashidat. Just one of many that I'm excited for us to have to be doing this together. So I love it. Okay, so this week's topic. Last week we talked about falling behind. This week it's still it still relates to that, but I wanted to talk about it from a different perspective because I recognize also, being a reader of Get Rich Lucky Bitch, um, I've been just learning how to notice my sabotage cycles. And I realized that the mindset of falling behind is absolutely, absolutely a sabotage cycle. Now we know that it's like one of those feelings that are like, oh, you're not actually behind. But I think it's understanding at an even deeper level to understand that it's a sabotage cycle. So one of the books that Denise Duffield Thomas connects back to inside of um, Get Rich Lucky Bitch, she talks about the big leap from Gay Hendricks. And he talks about how there's four main sabotages. And mine probably falls into one of those high level four, but I had to take it a step deeper and I realized that um falling behind is one of those sabotages. And the reason I say that is because anytime I fall behind, I I tend to feel like, oh, I need to hurry up and get ahead. And when I feel like I need to hurry up and get ahead, I end up justifying working harder. And then when you justify work harder, you end up justifying that you're more tired. And you keep telling yourself it's only going to be for a period of time until I finally get ahead. And all of that is a lie. It's not it's not just going to be for a period of time. So we have to recognize that that is a cycle that we put ourselves into. And then we have to change our mindset about um we have to understand where that mindset even comes from so that we can stop justifying it as being okay in order to start doing something different. Listen, let me see. Michelle said, listen, I started a new book, survived the snow, the snow apocalypse, and took off today because I wasn't feeling well. Yes. So did you end up needing to use the propane? Well, our power only flickered, but I thought about you every single time our power flickered. You call this snow apocalypse. I'm gonna call it ice apocalypse. Okay. Every time the power flickered during ice apocalypse last week, I thought about you and the propane, and I live with my brother. I even said to my brother, I said, "Should we have gone to buy some propane?" And he was like, "Oh, I didn't think about that either." But I think we're gonna be okay. It was only out for a couple hours last year, so luckily it wasn't out very long. But I want to know, did you use that propane, Michelle? Because I thought about you every time. But I'm so glad that you survived snow apocalypse, ice apocalypse last weekend. Are they giving you weather warnings for this weekend? Because I've been getting them here in Atlanta. There's a good chance I might be delayed from work tomorrow, so I'm curious on how is it going this week. And took off today because I wasn't feeling well. I hope you feel better. I really do hope you feel better. And I know this weather is not helping it, but here's the beauty. I have to remind myself of this all the time. I chose this part of the country because the winters are short here. It's going to be a short winter. Before we know it's going listen, I can't it's already the end of January. Before we know it, it's going to be the end of February. And it tends to start getting warm in March because I use March. My birthday is in March, and it tends to be pretty decent temperature here in Atlanta. So you're doing great. You're moving forward. We're almost there. Okay, we're halfway there as far as I'm concerned. Okay. Listen, okay, Megan said, I'm sorry you're not feeling well, Michelle, but glad you recognize your need to rest. And yay to your other wins. Come on, girl. I'm so glad that you recognize your need to rest and did not feel, I hope you didn't feel bad for taking off today. Some people will be just fine. Just fine. I hope it was so restful and that you got all the different kinds of rest that you need as well. Michelle said, thankfully, the power stayed on last week. Praise the Lord. Yes. But we're getting more snow tomorrow. Yep, that's what they're telling me too, is that there's a good chance that we're going to be, well, here's the beautiful thing. My job is hourly, even though it's high, a high pay hourly. But the thing is, when the store closes like this, we still get paid, which is absolutely amazing. So we'll still be working from home. So it's not like I won't be working. We just won't be working from the store. So yes. I hope that if you're staying home from the weather that you still get paid for that too, boo, because that's not your fault that they couldn't open wherever they couldn't open. Okay. Yes. Okay, good. Listen, I love it. That's amazing. Okay, so then Megan, what's the new book that you started? I read a new book this week. Listen, I went through this book in a day and a half. Okay. Now, I don't know if you consider it cheating because I'm listening to an audiobook, but I have an hour and 15-minute drive. So I could listen to quite a bit of a book. But let me tell you, the books that I've been reading are so good. I go to get out the car and I don't want to turn the book off because I'm like, this is the good part. It's like watching a series on Netflix. Um because I don't want to turn it off. So I'm curious, what's the new book you're reading so I can add it to my list? The book that I read this week was a mystery book called Needy Little Things. Needy Little Things. I cannot remember the author's name, but make sure you check it out. It was actually, I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. And then I started a completely new book today. And that's part of what inspired today's live stream. The new book that I started today is by Pinky Cole. I Hope You Fail. Mm, that's the other reason why I wanted to talk about this. I've only just started the book, but I'm already like, yes, talk to me about it. So I'm looking forward to it. Michelle said, whoa, yes, girl. Michelle said, Rashidat, glad you're not missing any coins, right? I hope you're not either, girl. I'm sending that vibe to you. Even if the job is making you miss coins, I hope the universe is sending them to you anyway. Talk about manifested money. Yes, boo. Megan said, your job still pays you even when they're closed. They have locations in Michigan, right? When they're closed for weather. When they're closed for weather. Or they like on days that they were supposed to be open. Yes, girl. I was like, yes. When I found that out, I was like, oh, okay, we could close. I don't mind if we close then. But if we weren't getting paid for it, I'm like, oh man, no, we need to be open. But I'm so glad that so what they do is we have our laptops and we have to we have to take them home with us. And then we still just communicate, from online, which it's better. I mean, we sell luxury furniture. People want to come sit and feel. So it's better to be in the store. And you'd be surprised on days like that. Um, People still come in. Like last week on Snowpocalypse, people still came in. But I wasn't there. There was the other two girls that lived in an area were the ones who came in. So yes. Okay. You know what? Megan, there's a good chance they are in Michigan and they pay pretty well. I don't know if you're into luxury furniture sales, but it's really a good company to work for. Okay. Michelle said, my new book is called How Can We Win on Race, History, and Changing the Money Game That's Rigged. Interesting. It's so yummy so far. I need to add that to my list. How can we win? Listen, let me open it up and put it to the side so that I can So I can save the book in my Apple Books. Ooh, let me see if I could do it that way. Oh, I'm scared to open anything new on my laptop since it keeps kicking me out. But I want to keep the book. You know, I love when we share a good book. When we share shows and books, I'm all about it. Let me see how we can win. How we can win. How we can win. How we can win. I see it. Okay. Oh, by Kimberly Jones. Okay. I'm gonna save it. It's got 5 stars on Apple Books, and I'm gonna see if I can find it on Libby. Yes, girl. Thank you for the suggestion. You know I love when you give me a book suggestion. Megan said people were still coming to my job during snowpocalypse. Girl, they like a little snow's not gonna keep us. If you open, we ready to get out the house. Like y'all want to be on treadmills and bikes that bad? I'm not gonna lie. Um, I'm planning to go to the gym in the morning, and then so I think I'm probably still gonna be at work tomorrow. But we'll see. I'll see how it is when I wake up in the morning, because I do wanna go get on my treadmill. Listen, there's people dedicated to that routine. Ain't that funny? I ain't mad at them. 'em. I'm not mad at them. I love it. Okay. So yeah, the book that I'm reading now, like I said, is I Hope You Fell by Pinky Cole. And I think what's interesting about this topic and how it connects with feeling behind is because when you think about that sabotage cycle, that you feel like if you want to get out of being behind, that you have to hustle harder, that you have to do more. I'm actually saying, I hope that you fail at that. I lovingly hope you fail at working harder to get ahead because there's no other way that you're going to recognize you don't have to do all of that. That boo, we doing too much. That we're overcomplicating it and we're burning ourselves out in the process of trying to make our dreams come true. And I don't want that for us. I think it's a little bit of the remnant of like the boomer age, because they all worked crazy hard. But we've been coming out of that, and I love that we're going to continue to push. And we've changed it for the generations after us don't think like that. So I still want it for us, like right now, you know? Tracy. Hey, Tracy. Sorry, ladies. Tracy said, sorry, ladies. Missed today's combo. Was making dinner and have been having power issues all day. We were just talking about that. I asked Michelle, not just the ladies, but I asked Michelle if she had to get propane last week because she was like, I'm trying to be prepared. Propane and candles. And listen, I ain't mad at you, boo. She said, I ain't trying to be up in a storm cold, freezing. But luckily, she didn't have to use it last week. So I hope that your power stays on. Tracy said, just stopping by to say hi. Girl, it's always good to see you. I'm glad you took a second to say hello. We love when you stop through as always. And I'm so glad that like you wouldn't have to come in here and talk about I'm sorry I'm late. You're not late. You exactly here when you needed to be. So I'm so glad that you got the chance to stop through. And Megan said, hey, Tracy, I hope your power gets its ish together, right? Because we can't have my little Ellie boo feeling cold. Give that baby an extra hug for us, some extra snuggles with his cute little self. Yes. So with this topic about like the cycle of justifying working hard, I think so many of us, especially as Black women, we see our white counterparts and we see how far they've gotten. And not just that. Actually, I want to even take that out of the equation. Let's take out the white counterparts and also just and think of it from the perspective. It's not even our pace against their pace. It's my pace against what I wanted my pace to be or where I think I should be. And a lot of times our expectations of where we should be are unrealistic, you know? And so it's really this recalibration. I was talking to my chat GPT about this, and he said, "Oh, I love where you're going with this," because I'll tell him what I want to talk about, and he says, "Oh, I love where you're going with this because this is less about the topic of falling behind, but and instead understanding that this is not about a do more. This is about a recalibration of what we actually need to do to get what we want." Because the old self used to say that working hard was what we needed to do to get ahead. But we're now in this process of recalibrating of what do we actually need to do to get what we want, and it looks different. It's a softer way of doing it. It's a different mindset of doing it, and it has there's no version of this where you could be behind. It's impossible. You're exactly where you need it to be, where you need to be. And that's one of the things that I've already appreciated about Pinky Pole's book. That's like one of the opening statements that she's made so far. So listen. Tracy said, I saw Lesson was on earlier. She was she now she might still be on because she said she's with her nephew and she's listening. And you know, it doesn't always she hasn't had a chance to type, but she at least let me know that she was here earlier. So she might still be here. I'm shouting it out so that if she's listening, she'll hear me say that Tracy is shouting you out, Leslie, sending you so much love from Grenada, your Grenada sister. Tracy said, "Hey, Meg." Michelle said, "Hey, Tracy, sending you love." Tracy said, "Hey, Michelle, how was your cold state treating you, right?" Megan said, I think society has played a big part in some people feeling behind. I think that too. You have to have everything accomplished by 25 or 30, which is so stupid. That is such a white bro thing to think that you have to have your whole life figured out at 25 or 30. And it's so unrealistic. When I love to see those posts on Instagram where it's I didn't even start like those posts that are like, I didn't even start to blossom until I was 40. With 25, my 20s and 30s were my pregame to my blossom because that's how it happens for most of us. And that doesn't make us a late bloomer. That just means we actually that we're normal. And there's occasions, those are rare instances where some people bloom early. But you gotta remember, we ain't all gonna be Mike Zuckerberg, or I think that's how to say it, what his name is. And yet that doesn't mean that we're behind because that's what he had. That doesn't make us behind. That doesn't show bad on us because that's what his opportunities allowed him to do. So yeah, it's a shift in taking off. And this is the other thing that I love talking about in jogging. That's a cultural should that steals away our ability to enjoy life. And I'm like, nope, grab that thing back. Get rid of that should and get rid of that. Michelle said, should often mean shame. Yes, it does. And guess what? It starts with the same two first letters. And releasing that should releases so much of that shame. And this is the other reason why I wanted to talk about this. I've been in my business for 6.5 years. This June will be my 7th anniversary of my business. And there has been a part of me that has been like, I should be farther along. And yet, some of my favorite mentors, one of the things that I noticed early on as I was listening to them, especially around year 1 or 2, I had things were moving, but they weren't like popping off. And then I would listen to one of my mentors, Maya from the Do said this. Um, uh, Crap, there's a handful of women that I heard say this. They said, "Girl, I'm not an overnight success. You just finally getting put on 10 years later. This is a 10-year in the making overnight success." And when I think about that, I'm like, "Oh, I'm just in year 7. I'm good. Like I'm exactly where we need to be. And that's been that's thinking about those things are some of the things that help us take off that shame and actually normalize what's actually real, what's realistic, because to think that everything needs to pop off in your first business or second at that point, um, in the first year, is not even true. It's not real. You still have so much to learn, you know? Okay. So thank you for saying that, Michelle. I love that line. I love that line so much. Okay, Michelle also said, Tracy is cold, but I have kept my tail in the house. I know that's right, boo. Ain't nobody trying to be outside right now. We go outside when it's warm. You see, I got all these warm clothes because I gotta go outside. Listen, you ain't never seen, I've had this for a while, but you've never seen me wear it. Guess what? Because I was in the house warm and I didn't need to wear this. I know that's right. Staying in the house, keep my tail in the house. Megan said, not take into account that success looks different for everyone. And it should be because we don't all want the same things, you know? And everyone doesn't want the same type of life. I agree. I totally agree. And so this is what's so important about Jaya. So much of this is a process of releasing those shoulds and really bringing those different ideas of shoulds into the forefront so that we can intentionally break them down and say, that's not a should that I'm gonna let hold me back anymore. I'm gonna get that out of here and replace it with what I want rather than what I feel like I should want. Two different things. What I want and what I feel like I should want, 9 times out of 10 do not align. But it's not until we release that shame, until we actually start allowing ourselves to say, "Oh, I want this because I want this." Oh, which reminds me of another book. Remember I was telling you about that book, 10x versus 2x. One of the biggest lessons that he talks about in there is that we our culture feels like we have to justify the things we want by calling it a need. And he says when you call it a need, you put yourself into a mindset of desperation. And he said, instead of calling it a need, just be okay with what you want. Don't feel like you have to justify what you want. Don't let the world shame you into feeling like you have to justify yourself. Want what you want because it's what you want, and you're allowed to have what you want. Let me say that again. What you want because it's what you want, and you're allowed to have what you want. And it's like taking permission for ourselves rather than allowing that blanket of should and shame to still fall on us. Listen, come on, come on. I love that, Megan, not taking into account um that success looks different to everyone and everyone doesn't want the same type of life. I love it. Tracy said, girl, I went out yesterday and it was so cold. I had a doctor's appointment today and upcoming on Monday, and I canceled those suckers. She said, listen, I'm not playing. We can come back and do that later. We're not doing that right now. I'm not even mad about it. I'm not even mad. One of my celebrations this week was that my benefits, I started getting my benefit cards. I said, girl, I'm gonna be up in every doctor's appointment. Check me out, boo. I cannot wait. Yes, but I get it. You said, listen, but we could do that when it gets warm. We don't need to do that now. Tracy said, the weather broke me yesterday. Boo, I'm sorry. I took you ladies' advice and purchased the book Get Rich Lucky Bitch. Oh, you did? Okay, did you start reading it yet? Listen, get rich. Get Ricky. Look, Tracy did change the title. Get Rich Lucky Broke Bitch. Tracy, I can't stand you. You are a hot mess, and I love it ever so much, so much. Michelle said, that part, Meg, everyone doesn't want the same thing. It does not. And that's why when I promote Jaya with Rashidat, I don't go back and say, let me teach you how to move abroad. If you want to move abroad, I can help you move abroad. I've done it. If you want to build a business, I can help you do that. If you want to stay in your corporate job, but you want to change the way it affects your life, I can help you. That's what we're going to do. And This blueprint will allow you to take whatever life it is that you want, get really like crystal clear on it, and help you carve your own path to that rather than feeling like you have to take the well-worn path to what somebody else wants. You don't have to take the well-worn path to what somebody else wants. We're gonna clear a path for you. And I love that so much about what I get to do. It's one of my favorite things in the whole wide world. Listen, Tracy said, "Lucky 7, Rashidat." Hey, I'm into it. uh Tracy, no, Michelle said, "Tracy, I don't blame you." That cold is a hot mess. Tracy, I agree with you, Meg, about not everyone wants the same life. And we shouldn't all want to. Isn't that not the beauty of different puzzle pieces? I think of us all as different puzzle pieces on this massive, elaborate, beautiful puzzle that God created. And He intended for no puzzle piece to be exactly the same. And yet, He also intended that whatever is on our puzzle piece fits together in our global connection that He's made for us. And it makes this immaculate, beautiful picture, this masterpiece. And we can't if we spin that puzzle piece trying to be some other puzzle piece, we are disconnecting the full beauty of what He had intended. He put those desires in your heart to be specifically how it's supposed to be and how it connects to everybody else. I, and I think that's going back to our self worth, to our self esteem, to our self confidence, our self dignity, and saying, God knew from the beginning, girl, you beautiful. Oh, I can't wait for this puzzle piece to fit up in here. Like, can you see how excited I get? Like, I feel His excitement as I say that, and that Michelle had a part to play. Tracy has a part to play. Megan has a part to play. Rashida has a part to play. And when we just show up and want the things that He's given, the desires that we wanted in our hearts, rather than feeling like we should or covered in shame, and then what makes us feel behind, which then makes us um feel like we have to get ahead, which then makes us hustle hard. He's like, listen, don't fall into that trap. It's a trap. Don't do it. Like, so yes. What would you want what you want? Because you're allowed to want what you want and you're allowed to have what you want. Uh okay. I'm back off my soapbox. You know I'll get on a tangent, start going. Listen, okay. Uh Michelle said, "How do you like the book so far, Tracy? We want to know." Oh, it's coming next week. Okay, so you ordered it. You haven't received it yet. So okay, when you get it, I want to hear about it. And we want to hear. Michelle said, "Happy anniversary, Rashida. Keep plugging. Your info is invaluable. Thank you, sis. I appreciate that. Listen, my whole heart appreciates that so deeply. Thank you for saying that. Listen, I can't wait. I'm gonna start celebrating that anniversary more. I don't think I publicly celebrated as much, but I'm gonna start doing it. I sure enough am. Michelle said, "Yay!" Megan said, "Okay, feeling like I was behind and shooting on myself." Yes, girl, shooting on myself is one of the things that led me down the path of trying to work with different coaches and programs, searching for something missing. I completely understand that. I'm so glad you brought that up because here's the other thing that I've seen about feeling behind and um, trying to get ahead. I have seen myself again, same as you, work with coaches because they promote it as like this magic pill that is going to like it's the one thing that you've been missing that's going to allow you to finally get to the place that you want to get to. And the coaches that have helped me accomplish more are the ones that have said, "Hey, this is a longer process, but this is going to be a puzzle piece that helps you get closer." And I'm gonna bring this back around. That's the other reason why I changed last year. I'm gonna bring it like let me just get real tangible with this. last year, remember I was so excited last year to join that high ticket program. And I was so excited about the way it was gonna help me build my business. And it was not a magic pill. It did not. It did not help me quantum leap. It it did, I mean, it helped, but it wasn't worth what I paid for it, you know what I mean? And I that being said, what it was worth was helping me learn how I wanted to structure my program for my clients and what I didn't want to do. Because this process of shifting your life um, to go from being an event of rest to being a lifestyle and fully enjoying your life while still being ambitious, um, it's an evolution. It didn't happen for me overnight. Now it's going to happen faster because you have me to support you through it, and you're going to see results starting early in the process. But Rome wasn't built in a day for you to get to this spot. Rome is not going to be rebuilt in a day for you to get to the next spot. And so now it allows me to be able to support my clients long term and to be a part of this community where we're learning from each other and you're hearing from different perspectives as we continue to move on. And I think that also normalizes that you can still make progress and and keep moving forward. And it's not failing to not wake up and magically be there. This is an evolution. Which is another thing that I think that Pinky Cole brought it really brings up in her book too. So I agree, Megan. We're in this process of, and it's even just learning not to shit on yourself is a process because you think that you got rid of all the shoulds, and then you're like, oh crap, that's a new way that I've been shitting on myself and I didn't even realize it, right? And now you gotta declutter that. Now we gotta adjust that. So there's nothing missing. This is nothing in your present moment. Nothing is missing, even though you're still growing to something beyond this moment, even though you still have a future place that you're moving into. But nothing today is missing. You're exactly where you need to be to get you there. And that's something, that's a practice. That's a mindset to keep leaning back into. Okay. Michelle said, wishing you well on your journey, Meg. Come on, right? I love it. Tracy said, but why then do we always measure ourselves against others? Because we're human. Because we're human. I wish that there was, I mean, I know there's a more scientific answer to it, but at the end of the day, girl, I was about to go deep. Let me not go there. I'll just say it really just comes down to humanity. In order for us to not do that, it just takes an intentionality. And here's the other thing that I was saying too. I think a lot of times it's not just about, sometimes it's not even comparing ourselves to someone else. It's comparing ourselves to our own unrealistic expectations of what we think it should be. And so sometimes it's really us against us. I mean, our biggest enemy a lot of times is ourself. And yet, that is the beautiful part of it. If our biggest enemy is us, then we can change us. We can't change everybody else. We can't change anybody else's journey, but we can change us and how we move forward. And and because we can do that, we don't have to let that hold us back, you know? Okay. Megan said, thank you, Michelle. Megan said, I trace human nature, maybe. Yes, I see. Plus, I think individualism has us in competition with each other. That's a really, really great point, especially in our capitalist culture where what we have is never enough, and doing it together, moving forward together is not. a collective, it's not a cultural goal. And here, our cultural goal is to move on our own, which I think is another thing that hits into that competition. Um, Again, competition compared to others and competition within what we see for ourselves, you know? Um, I love it. Michelle said, I'm allowed to have what I want. Bars. Come on. Yeah, you are, girl. You are allowed to have what you want. And it doesn't have to, it shouldn't have to do with anything that anybody says you should do. It's what you want. It's funny. I work in a luxury furniture store, and let me tell you, I don't want half of the things in there. They're very pretty, and I enjoy being in that atmosphere because it is when you put yourself in like a in spaces that are at a higher frequency, you're like, oh, like when I'm in here all the time, it starts to normalize it. It starts to acclimate you to that being your new normal. And yet I want that level of quality, but I don't want all that big furniture, and nor do I want a big house to go put it all in, nor do I want to have to clean all of that furniture or all of the house that it would be a part of. And yet I love being in the space. And so it's like taking the sentiment and the things that we want to have from it without comparing ourselves to something else and not feeling like this is the only way to receive something that we like. It's not. My little tiny house is going to be luxurious, luxurious, and yet it's not going to be from there'll be some pieces, but not that much from this place, you know? We get to be creative. And this is ooh, another part that I love about Jaya with Rashidat. You if you haven't had a chance to dream with me yet, you are missing a treat. Because anything that has shitted on you, I love to release that box and be like, but ooh, what about this? And what about that? And you get to really personalize it. Your dreams get to be personalized in such a beautiful way that's like, wow, that is so uniquely me. And I love how bringing that out of you. Tracy said, I only went out yesterday because I had to get my 6-month biopsy. So I sucked it up, girl. Okay, how did the biopsy go? I hope it went good. We're sending you all the love and the vibes. But yeah, girl, I understand that you did not want to go out for that. You didn't want to go outside. Megan said, Tracy, I get it. This cold is no joke. If I didn't have to go to work, I wouldn't have left my house. Tracy said, individuality, each their own, preach Rashad. Right. And here's the beautiful thing. I don't think individuality is a bad thing, but when you allow individuality to happen at the expense of the greater whole, yes, you know what I mean? A finger is an individual finger, but it's still a part of the whole. If that finger decided, yo, I ain't trying to work with y'all suckers no more. I'm trying to compete against you. It takes away the whole cooperation of what a hand does to help this whole union work together. And that's where I hate seeing and feeling that pressure that we have in our culture. It doesn't have to be that way. But again, the the part that really changes it is when we see how it affects us. And that's where the sabotage cycle comes in. Okay. So we talk about it like we've talked about being on all the time. We've talked about feeling behind. We've talked about um all of those feelings. But when you take a step back and you look at what does it look like to tangibly live a life where you feel behind? What are those behaviors that you do when you feel behind? You decide that looks like um I need to work a little bit long. My day is over at work, but I need to work a little bit longer because hopefully that'll help me get ahead. lies. That's one of the behaviors of feeling behind, okay? But you can stop once you have narrowed it down from this idea of feeling behind and brought it down into what are the behaviors, then you can stop doing those behaviors and intentionally start doing something different and start changing your mindset behind it. And I see all of these things snowball into, oh, I can live differently because now I see what I was doing. And not everybody's doing the same behavior. I'm using those as an example. So, what is when I think about my behavior of when I felt behind, sometimes it was work later in the day, but there's a point where my brain is just like, no more, I'm done. Like after this tonight, that's it. But another behavior that I saw in myself was that when I felt like I was behind, like Megan said, I would look for a coach or I would look for something that I thought was the magic pill. I even recognize that because I love reading. I'm an avid reader. I love reading business book. I love reading personal development and self-help books. I would look at every single thing that I learned and think I must be doing something wrong. And I had this epiphany literally last week when I was rereading. I was rereading Good to Great for a second time. And I was like, oh, that's a sabotage cycle. I have to stop thinking that everything I'm doing is wrong and actually recognize I'm doing some things right. And maybe there's still evolution to it, but not assuming, not defaulting that I need to do something wrong. Instead, a lot of times, it's not that I need to change something, it's that I need to keep moving with consistency in the plan that I have going on. And that's what Good to Great talks about. A lot of times, it talked about how when Viktor Frankl was a person of war, a prisoner of war, um, he said the people that died were the people that said, "Oh, this will be over soon," rather than having the consistent perseverance that regardless of when this ends, I know it's going to end and I'm going to survive the whole way to it. It's a different mindset, you know? And so, yeah, all of this comes back to how do you think about what is it when you think to yourself, "I feel behind," what is that behavior that you default into to try to fix that you can stop doing, okay? Okay, listen, Tracy said, "That's beauty, that analogy that you just gave about the hand." Thank you, Tracy. I wish I could say it was me. That was Jesus speaking because I came up with that in the moment. So I'm glad we got it recorded because Jesus does that a lot. And I'm like, somebody will say, "What did you just say, girl?" I don't know. Jesus said it. Did we record it? Glad we did. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Jesus. Okay. Marissa said, "Hey y'all, I'm so late, but it's good to see you, girl. You right on time. And we're glad to see you too. Happy Friday, beautiful." Tracy said, "Hey Marissa." Megan said, "Hey Marissa." Tracy said, "Just like the other lady said, better late than never. Listen, and you're not late. You're right on time." Um, Marissa said, "Hey Tracy, yes, yes. Hey Megan." So yes, listen, and it's so funny because you're gonna see the title and the cover on today's live stream is last week's because guess who was behind? And I didn't do it intentionally. It just came up as I was trying to. Today was like this week was like some of the things every time I try to sit down to do it, but I get to set this pace. And if I'm not the one setting the pace, let me say this, because even as I'm thinking about this, Jesus, I'm like, ooh, Jesus, that's a good one. He said, "You are the one setting the pace." If anytime you are not the one setting the pace for you, you are allowing something to should on you. Mm, Jesus, you better come on. Listen, that was a good one. I wish I could say I did say it, but it was Jesus. I said it for him out loud. Anytime that you are not allowing yourself to set the pace, You're letting something from the outside, something that's shaming you, something that's shooting you into something else. Mm-mm. And we're letting that go. We're letting that go. So the other thing about this, about why you don't want to make the big decisions on this, can I tell you? When you're feeling in a place of behind, that is the absolute worst time, the worst time to make a big decision because you're not making the decision out of this is what I want. You're making the decision out of this is what I should do, which, as Michelle so eloquently stated, that should, you might as well replace that with shame. So that means we're making a big decision out of shame rather than making it out of love and out of what we truly want for ourselves and out of our self confidence and out of our self identity and our self worth. So, if anytime you're feeling behind, and this has been a habit that I have been slowly but surely building, do not make a big decision when you're feeling behind. That is when you take some time to really bring to mind why are you feeling behind? Take some time to declutter it and start asking, how can I start a lot? What is my new positive anchor when I'm feeling behind to recognize I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be right now? Listen. With that being said, my water said, listen, and now it's taking another time to take another drink. So if you're drinking on something good, put that in the chat. I'm drinking on some bomb ice water. Take that as a reminder to take another drink, okay? Michelle said, I was thinking of you, Marissa. Listen. That's what I love about this because we do shit. We look for each other. This is a community here. Michelle said, I set the pace. Yes, boo. Yes, you absolutely do. Marissa said, thanks, Michelle. Y'all give the warmest welcomes because we love seeing you, boo. Come on. Yes. Warm up in here. I love that. I set the pace. You do set the pace. You do set the pace. And not only that, remember, if you set the pace, you can't be behind because nobody else could tell you where you should be but you. And you even, you even have to relieve yourself of your shoulds. Because remember, everybody else can should on us from the outside, but sometimes we are our worst enemy when it comes to that. And that you versus you, me versus me mindset, we get unrealistic about where we should be. I am practicing to be like, oh, this is exactly what I needed. This is exactly where I needed to be. And I just have to use that as a positive anchor to keep allowing myself to come back. So I love bringing back Denise Duffield Thomas her 5 steps. Declutter what's making you feel behind. Okay. And that emotion that's coming up. Dream about what you want instead. And this is where I love inside of Jaya with Rashidat. I love helping you get very clear on what exactly that dream is. Creating your positive anchor. And then again, inside of Rashidat, I'm helping you create the life systems that you can create consistency, consistent perseverance that says, I know what I'm building to, and I'm not going to keep start and stopping my flywheel to get there. I just need a consistent practice that's going to help me do it without burning me out to get there. And so you have your positive anchor, and then you add the life systems from Jaya with Rashidat, and then you keep leaning into it the whole way there. Okay. I always get to step 3 and 4, or 4 and 5, and I for brain fart on what the other ones are. And they're so good. I know they're so good, but I can't think of them right now. Okay. Listen, Michelle said, I'm drinking water and my tumbler is pink. Come on, girl. I love it. I love it. So then I'll add my pink lights to go with yours. Mine is white, but I'm into it. Yes, to that water. Hmm. Michelle said, "Wait a minute, your cup lights up at the bottom." Yes, girl, I got a bougie cup. So this tumbler is from the brand Hydrate Spark, and they're actually out of they're a company here in Atlanta. The reason I got this water bottle is because I believe in accountability, obviously, in everything that I do, and that's why we do Freedom Fridays. And in my mind, with a regular tumbler, I would tell myself, "Oh, I drank 3 of these." But when I started tracking using this bottle to track how much water I actually was drinking, I was not drinking enough water. So what this bottle does, let me see. It's got a sensor in the bottom, and every time I drink water, this sensor tracks how much water or liquid I've drank. Because when it does, it lights up to remind me to drink. But then when I sit it down and it flashes a different color, it flashes blue, that's letting me know that it's tracked it, and then it tracks it in the app, and it's holding me accountable to how much water I've actually been drinking, and I have a daily goal. That's why my water bottle likes a boo, because I suck at drinking water bottle. I suck at drinking water, and I needed to be held accountable. But this is one of my life systems, y'all. It holds and it does help me. It really does help me without me having to put a lot of thought. All I gotta remember is to bring the daggone bottle and keep filling it up and keep and it even reminds me to drink it. So yes, my water bottle lights up. Boom. Okay. Michelle said, "Keeping up with the people is expensive. Ask me how I know." Right? I know that's right. Listen, we gotta carve our own and do the things that feel right for us. If you are good at drinking water, don't go buy this water bottle. You don't need it. I bought this water bottle because I needed the accountability. If you need the accountability, then do the things that make your life simple. But we're not trying to keep up with nobody's Jones up in here. Okay? We ain't got time for that. Nor the money. You can spend that money on something else. Okay? Yes. Um, Megan said, "Lay side." I've made many of decisions based on where I should be and or out of desperation, which led to a lot of wasted time and money, which puts me in another shame cycle. Listen, me too, Megan. Me too. I understand. And that's why I feel like it's so good to talk about these things. Because when we hear somebody else say it, first of all, it's like, oh, wait a minute, do I do that? I have done that. And it also normalizes it. But then it's also like, oh, but now that I know, I can change that. And I don't have to feel bad about it. Because evidently, if I'm not the only one doing it, this is normal. Yes. Yes, all of that. Michelle said, yes, say Meg. Michelle said, oh, thank you. I'm glad that you enjoyed my cup. I love my cup too, girl. I needed the accountability, trust and believe. Uh Michelle said, "So cool. So how do you wash it?" So here's what's beautiful. That's why this comes out. You never ever wash this, and you don't wash. I can't tip it over because the water will come out, but you never wash down here. So you can't put it in the dishwasher, but you just take this part out because the water is up here. So you just wash this like normal. So this is the only part you just want to make sure you don't get wet. And I've never had this get damaged from water damage. You just don't ever sit your cup in the sink because there's going to be somebody else who doesn't who doesn't realize that that's not what this cup does. Okay, but yes, this is my cup. I love it. It helps me so much. And the fun thing is you can change the lights. Um, this is actually my third one of these. I have a chug one. I have a different tumbler that doesn't have a handle, and then I have this one. Um, and you can interchange the cup and go into the different cups. But yes, yeah, I love this thing. It's been one of my favorite purchases, and even when I was at home, you probably saw this but didn't realize all the things it does. But yes. Okay, let me see. Meg said, "I use a tracker for water intake, but I still don't think I'm getting enough because my lips and mouth be dry, girl. I'm terrible. My urine, it be so bad. I said I got to get better. Now let me tell you when I was really good. Y'all know I have my idea for my drink line. Well, in managing my budget, I haven't been buying my supplies to make my drink line for my own self. That's one of the things that also helped hold me accountable because it had coconut water and it helped me hydrate. I'm the worst, y'all. I'm absolutely the worst. So I understand. I swear, but then my lips will be dry and I'll be like, man, I thought I drank enough water today, and then I go to the bathroom and that joint smells terrible, and I'm like, oh no, I definitely got to go drink some more water. And then I go look and see how much I've drank, and I'm like, oh, yep, I hadn't drank enough. So it's really good for helping. Again, accountability. That's why I love doing even Freedom Fridays. I love accountability helps you simplify and stay consistent on that track of perseverance all the way to the thing that you're building. So my shameless plug. Marissa says, same Meg, same with wasting time for things I didn't even want. And that's the other reason why sometimes I've experienced that too. I've also experienced it in the way where I've worked so hard for something and then I wake up one day and I realize my life has gone in this direction over here. I'm like, but wait, that was where I actually wanted to be over here. How did I end up over here? Because I'm so busy trying to hurry up and do the thing that instead of pausing to recalibrate, that I've taken a step in the direction I actually wanted to go. I just kept taking steps, assuming that it was actually going to get me where I wanted to be. And it took me this way rather than that way. All because I felt like I needed to hurry up and do the next thing. And this is where rest comes in. When you take that rest and you take that step back and you use one of my favorite things that I teach inside of Jaya with Rashidat, learning to periscope, where you zoom into the weeds of doing the things, but then zoom out to look at the vision. That's that periscope. Then you can start recalibrating yourself in real time so that you don't wake up and ask yourself, how did I end up over here? But that means you got to pause long enough. You got to get rid of that shame so that your mind will allow yourself to pause long enough to recalibrate and actually take yourself to where you want to go. How do I know? Telling you from experience of doing it absolutely wrong. Megan said, right? It's crazy because the money we can get back, but not that time. Right. We could always make more money, but the time is lost. But here is what I want to keep telling you for that. I'm gonna say it over and over again. While it feels like crap, I wasted it. It was clearly a lesson that you needed to learn. I know that all of the times that I've wasted money, wasted time, and I look back with like, wow, I really could have done that differently. I literally have things about my business that I felt like that, purchases I made with my car, um, the timing that I came back from the United States, all of those things I've looked back and said, in retrospect, I really could have done that differently. And I could have said myself, list to myself, and I have said to myself, man, I would be so much further ahead if I would have done it that way. But here's what I have also, this is what has become my positive anchor when I think that I made the absolute best decision that I could make in that moment with the information I had at that time. That is a very important positive anchor anytime you're going through your decluttering for feeling behind. Okay. I did the absolute best that I could with the information that I had at that time. I could not have made the reason it seems like, oh, I could have done something different, but I didn't have the information. I didn't know what I know now then. Because if I knew what I knew now, then I would have made a different decision, right? So you can't be behind if you didn't know what you didn't know. You could only do what you could with the best that you could with the information that you had at that time. So anytime you're feeling behind, that has been my positive anchor to remind myself, no, I'm not behind. I'm exactly where I needed to be because I clearly needed to go through this process to recognize, oh, I could have done that a different way. And now it's like I got the cheat code for the next time that comes around. Think of it like a Mario game, okay? You go through the Mario game, and there's some levels where you jump, slide under all of those things, and you get through it the first time. But there's sometimes where you're like, ah, I didn't even know that thing was gonna be there, and it kills you. It takes a life. But guess what? Now the next time you go through there, you know that thing is there, and you can avoid it. You can deal with it. You have intentionality because you're not surprised this time. And it changes how you go through that level the next time you go through it. It is the exact same thing with us. But the first time you went through it, you made the best decision you could with the information you knew at that time. You didn't know that that thing was going to jump out at you, but now you know and you do it better. And it's going to take you further this time around. Okay? Positive anchor. I knew I did the best that I could with the information I had at that time. Okay? Um, Marissa said, true. I love sharing my mistakes to save others time and heartache. I can also relate to nearly anyone because I have two lifetimes of slippers. Come on, boo, right? Right. I understand that. You know what else too? As someone um that I love to try this is one of the things that I had to do as a coach, okay? And I learned this early with my nephew. I remember this one time my nephew got so upset with me because he said, um, I was trying to tell him, like, hey, you have so much potential. Here's a mistake that I've made so that you don't make the same mistakes. He was like, but you can't make me into you. And I was like, but I'm not trying to make you into me. And what I had to understand was that I can share my experience and try to warn someone this is what to expect, and they still have to go through it themselves. And I've literally seen a friend go through this later, but then when it comes back around, you're like, "Oh, now I get that, and I could even do even better with that the same time around." So I only brought that up to say if you're ever sharing something with someone and you're trying to warn them and you can tell it's not getting through, that's okay. That means you are the first person in their journey to that experience that's giving them an awareness that's going to come back around and they're really going to be able to take that in the second time. Definitely something that I had to learn. But I love that. You're right. I love sharing my mistakes to save others time and heartache, which is one of the reasons I became a coach. I don't want I don't want to hear any more about amazing women who have been so ambitious. There was and I don't know how this woman died in LA, but she was doing amazing things in the community. And she just recently died. She was so young and beautiful and gorgeous. And I have seen so much of us dying young because we martyr ourselves to work harder and harder and harder and harder and harder. And I don't want that for us. And so I wanted to make a business around it. And I felt like the Lord was like, I'm tired of seeing my Black daughters be that person that martyrs herself. So I'm gonna teach you how to stop doing it, and then I want you to go pass it along. So yes, I think I got off on a tangent. But all of that to say, y'all, you're not behind. Please don't make any decisions when you feel like you're behind. And please use the positive anchor. Anytime you're feeling behind, it's probably bringing up some kind of feeling of regret. Take a second to declutter that regret and replace it with a positive anchor that says, I made the absolute best decision I could make in that moment. And now I know how to better handle it the next time around. Because it's going to come back around. and that's okay. But now you're better prepared for it, and that doesn't make you behind at all. That makes you exactly where you needed to be, and it makes you amply prepared to win that level of Mario Kart the next time you go through it, okay? Megan said, "Oh, Miss Shirley, I saw that news on TikTok. I hate that the first time I heard about it, about her was because she died." Right. Right. I don't want that to be our story. I don't want that to be our story. That is such a big motivating part of why I do what I do. I I had a coaching client. It was in a different coaching program. She was like really starting to like get the momentum of everything that she was doing. And then we found out that our payments weren't going through anymore. And as we started, reaching out to contact her to figure out, to get her payments back on track, that was how we found out that she had died. Like literally, it dropped dead. I don't want that for us. And if that is the case, I want us to have been like, listen, I enjoyed every bit of my life as I kept, you know, building my dreams on the way to be there. I I want you to know that I was here because I fully enjoyed my life. Yes, I don't want that for us. Michelle said same, same. Just found out about her. Same, same. So yes, I hope that this helps us on that journey and understand literally the reason I do Jaye, like we're talking about this topic here in Jaye, we take that to the next step. If you're looking for more support to keep helping you move forward in this journey, to keep making it tangible, to lean into my support to help you take what are this high level feeling of feeling behind and breaking it down into the actual behavior so that you can make tangible changes to build the life that you want rather than the life that you feel you should have, then you need to join Jaya with Rashidat. The blueprint that I have helps you take what you want from life. I'm not trying to get you to build a lifestyle where you have to be in a tiny house and all that. It's none of that. It's about helping you build the lifestyle you want, taking this blueprint to help you do that. And clearing out the mindset blocks and the sabotages. Um, and then not just clearing out the mindset blocks, but also adding in the systems that help you create that snowball effect to build it into the beautiful life that you fully enjoy. It is absolutely so heartbreaking, Marissa. Marissa said that's heartbreaking. It absolutely is. I mean, she's gorgeous and she was having such an impact. And I love that we as Black women have such a strong impact like that, but I absolutely do not want to see it kill us. And I don't think Jesus wants to see it kill us either. I truly believe with every bit of my being that God created us so that it was that when we wake up and we just fully step into who we are, rather than feeling like we have to do, but that when we just step into who we be, to just being, that is the greatest impact that we can have because we still do all those things, but it's without that pressure, without that stress. So yeah, it is heartbreaking. And that's not gonna be us because we're not. We're doing things to change that. So yes. All right, y'all. Shifting from that topic, it's time to wind down for the weekend. What do you have planned for your weekend? Remember, there's 3 steps that we do to wind down for our weekend. Step number one, take a second, open up your devices, your iPad, your phone, your laptop, see what windows that you have open, and start getting those things out the way. Start looking at your emails and getting those out the way. I'm bringing back the co-working session, the co-planning session inside of Jaya with Rashidat. I'm excited to get that started over the next couple weeks. Um, so we could do it again together because it's accountability. Even for me, I appreciate the accountability. You see, I believe in the accountability. So again, um, if you're interested, that is well, the last day is this weekend. So it'll open back up the enrollment will open back up soon. But soon meaning a couple months, but yes. Okay. So take some time, close out your windows. If you want to share how many you close, go ahead and drop them in the chat. I definitely have some windows to close because tail end of this week has been a whole debacle. So I'm not even going to be able to close them right now, but I know I'm going to do it. Michelle said, wind down, stay my black self home with this snow we're supposed to get. I know that's right. Listen, one of the guys on the dating app had the nerve to be like, "We should come out. This is good cuddle weather. We should go on a date." I said, "I'm not going out in the snow. I'm not going out in the ice apocalypse. Cause you want somebody to cuddle with. I will see you when the ice is done. When the ice is done." I said, "He crazy. He crazy. He done lost his mind." Okay, so that was step number one for your wind down. Was to declutter some windows on your devices. Next, listen, your fun activity for this weekend might be to cuddle in and read your book, to watch your series, to make a fun meal, to sleep. It might be to do some scrapbook journaling. That's not what it was called. Collage journaling. It might be to do some yoga. I have been doing some amazing stretching every day, and I'm like, yes, this feels amazing because I hold all my stress in my hips. So whatever your wind down event for this weekend is, if you want to share that in the chat, let us know because we might want to go try it too some other week. And then my fun meal for the weekend, y'all, I can't wait to get mine. I'm waiting. One of my celebrations for this week is that today was my first check, but it's not. The direct deposit hasn't started yet. So I'm hoping the physical check is at home when I get home, and then I'll deposit. But I cannot wait to get my preps meals going again, y'all. Ooh, yes, I can't wait. So those are my things for this week. Uh, Marissa said, "Oh, Michelle, did the storm hit there already, or are you still waiting?" Yes, don't stay home and be safe. Absolutely. It hasn't hit as Marissa, she said that the storm is supposed to hit tomorrow. It's supposed to hit tomorrow for us too in Atlanta. And Michelle is in South Carolina. So I'm assuming that it's gonna hit us around the same time because we're only a couple hours apart. And then Marissa also said, my fun activity, I'm going to coffee with a friend on Sunday, and we always crochet when we hang. Oh, I love that. My mom started teaching me how to crochet, and I haven't tried in a long time. I love that. I had so much fun. I love all the creative rest you do. You are like my poster child for creative rest, and I'm into it, into every single bit of it. I love it. Michelle said it hit and we lost no power, but more snow this weekend. Oh, right. Yes, because there was the storm from last week. So I'm glad you didn't lose power. I'm glad you didn't have to put on that propane tank because that's also a lot. Yes. I hope you got your money back, or you might have saved it for this week since evidently the South has decided it's going to get a lot of storms this winter. So I love it. All right, y'all. Okay. So I'm glad we pulled out some different things that we're winding down for the weekend. If you didn't claim your sticker, listen, my Wi-Fi was acting crazy at the beginning, so I didn't go into the spreadsheet and put them in. But if you are claiming a sticker, you can still put hashtag sticker in the chat. If you are watching on the replay, you can do hashtag sticker in the comments. You could share your wins in the comments. And if you had any thoughts about our topic today, please share those too. We love all the participation, okay? So many different ways that you can participate, even in the replay, okay? Michelle said, I loved your friend hang, Marissa. I had to cancel my friend day. We were going to get coffee, hang out at the library, and put covers on our books. But we were book nerds. I love that. I absolutely love that. That is so flippin' fun. Listen, I love that every time we come on here, we're sharing a different book. It's like we have our own book club without like reading the book together. I love every bit of it. Marissa said, book covering at the library is so, so cute. It is so cute. You just brought me back to the best memories. I hope you get to reschedule. I do too. That sounds like it's going to be such a good time. I absolutely do hope you get to reschedule. I love it. All right, y'all. So I am so excited as we move into next month. This whole next month, I'm going to be promoting on the socials to invite people to come and start like very intentionally every day for the next 30 days, starting tomorrow. I'm going to be inviting people to come and join us here for Freedom Friday. So if you know anybody who is interested, if you see a post about Freedom Fridays on the socials, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and you're like, listen, I think you might enjoy this. Forward that promo post to them. I would love for them to come and join us. You know, I would love to see this community grow. So yes, I'm very excited for the next 30 days as we wrap up, this promo cycle of inviting people into Jaya and having Megan join us in Jaya with Rashidat. Yay! I'm excited to have more people come and join us for Freedom Fridays as well. This is such an amazing community. I appreciate you all so much. I appreciate the accountability that you all help me maintain. And I love bringing you along, having you along on this journey um, to keep prioritizing rest and winding down from the weekend and making space for it. So thank you so much for being here, as always. Yes. Michelle said, have a wonderful weekend. I agree. Yes, please have a wonderful weekend. Marissa said, yes, have a wonderful weekend, ladies. I enjoy you so much. Listen, everything was so crazy today. I'm not even going to do the little wind down music. So just do the extra dance for the wind down music today. I didn't use it and know that I appreciate you. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay warm, stay safe, eat good food, do restful activities, and I will see you back here next Friday for another lovely Freedom Fridays happy hour. Don't forget to drink whatever you're drinking on, even if it's water. And I'll see you right back here next week, you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Yes, all the dancing. I love it.